Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these, over there, are the same three, what are you? I don't know who these people are.
What even are we?
Where am I? What is this?
Who
We're
are
back!
you?
In the top left, wait, I should do it. I usually do it in this view. Okay, in the bottom left, we have Reagan Belladonna, played by Char.
Me. Kenny's trying to die by falling off my lap. Yes, hi. I was gonna have a Martin Luther King fact for the day. I couldn't find one, but I found this one. It's not super interesting, but his original name was Michael, and he also entered college at the age of 15. Good for him. He's a very smart guy.
He had his whole life ahead of him. In the bottom middle, we have Tullios Couldarn, aka Mayhem, played by Will.
I am also here. Hello. I did not come armed with any sort of facts.
Well, don't worry, that's Char's job.
I got it. It's fine.
And in the bottom
Good
right,
job.
we have Felix Milos, played by Alex.
Hello. I'm also factless, but at least present.
Well, we'll see if we can build up some facts for you. As per usual, I have given everybody... Tullios was already at 3, so... and I was already at 3, so... we all get a hero point if you were under 3. So that puts everyone at 3 currently. Our 2 active cards are the Sickness and the Silent Hag. And our new card for the evening is the Dance.
Alright, come here.
This one, I believe, is a Dex card. Yeah, it's the Lawful Good Dex card. Okay.
Oh, very smart.
So-
You go. Go on. Get out of here.
Bye,
You have to
Kennedy.
Go.
Have a good evening.
What is wrong? Hey, go. Go get Rob. Go get Rob. He's just... Okay. He's sitting on my headphone.
Cable.
Can I have it
That's
back,
fine.
please?
It's for the rest of the night. Just
Thank you. Oh,
little.
okay, there you go.
All right. So last time on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers managed to slay the criminal mastermind, Gadrin Lamb, and had knocked out and tied up all of his compatriots. You defeated the gator that was guarding his room, as well as you did kill the shark, right? Oh no, it ran away.
Dead unconscious.
Yes. You forced a shark to run. Made your way out of the facility and back to the orphans who had been waiting at Felix's tavern/inn. I shouldn't do that to my microphone. The Script and Scrimshaw. While there, you decided to check in on Zalara, whose decapitated head you found in Gadrin's premises, and discovered that she was, in fact, already dead. Her ghost spoke to you, told you of some great destiny that she she saw some kind of threads of destiny connecting the 4 of you. And bade you to hold on to her Harrow deck, through which she still has some kind of ghostly connection. You split the deck amongst you, and went about your separate ways for the night. I believe, let's go ahead and jump over to the map here. I believe Felix was, so it's currently still, it's Callistril the 3rd. What is that, April? Or February? It's February. It's Callistril the 3rd, the early morning. It's midnight 36. So Felix, I think, was going to head back home. I presume Reagan was going to head back to the academy. Where's the academy? There it is. How do I switch back to directed mode? There we go. Okay. And that leaves Mayhem, who I believe ducked into an alleyway to switch, to kind of toss aside his Mayhem garb and switch into his everyday Tullios persona. And from there, you were going to make your way over to the Temple of Saren Ray, where your daughter had been taken by the other orphans at your behest. Why is the camera like zooming all weirdly?
It's very excited.
Yeah, it's very excited. Okay. So I think the best place to start is... did I get that wrong? Let's start with Felix and Reagan, since theirs are probably more simple. Felix, you arrive back at the script and scrimshaw, which actually I can probably... we did make this map on stream the other day, so let's bring you over here.
Aww.
You return to the script and scrimshaw to see the... Is it? Sorry, something weird is going on with the camera right now. To add to our... Directed. There we go. Okay. We've had a lot of technical difficulties tonight, folks. Sorry. So yeah, you return to the script and scrimshaw to see a gaggle of kids all around. They've all huddled up around chairs and tables and they've all passed out. They're all exhausted from running around tonight. Is there anything that you want to do while you're here, or I assume you like kind of come in, close the door, lock it behind you, and you just have this array of children?
Yeah, like
laying down in the dark.
It feels a little good to see the bar full of people again. It's been quiet for so long. I think Felix would just kind of look around and take in the moment, just to see the place, even full of kids. It's a little funny, but at least it's doing the building's doing something. I think Felix's primary goal would just be to like make sure everyone seems comfortable that that Mayhem's that the kids that needed to go off and get medical help got it, and Felix would then just head upstairs. I think I'm still carrying a small mountain of things, so it's kind of like dragging myself and the heaps upon heaps of things that came back from this adventure, up to a place where I could just collapse into bed. It has been a long day.
Yeah, so you can kind of go back through the back of the bar, into the kitchen, over to your storage room, and dump off anything you want there, and then make your way upstairs for bed. You figure that you probably won't hear back from the orphans who went to the Temple of Saren Ray until morning, so you've got time to sleep. With that, let's go ahead and jump over to Reagan.
It's me.
Okay. What do you do when you return to the campus and make your way through the big gates of the academy? There are two. The gates are usually closed at night, so you have to cast a basic light spell to get the guards' attention, and they'll open it up and allow you to go through. The academy grounds are pretty dead at this time of night. Just make your way back over to your dorm.
Yeah. I'll wander my dorm. I guess there's no crazy curfew at the academy.
Not really, no. the students can sometimes be on weird hours, so and teachers too. So they don't really enforce any kind of real curfew. It's really by necessity. Most students end up sleeping around the same times, just because when classes and things are. So, yeah, you cross the grounds and make your way over to your dorm just fine. The door this time is thankfully closed and locked, just how you left it.
That's good news.
Yeah.
No more surprises, please.
Yeah, you make your way inside, and there's your bed, as comfortable as it ever was. You feel exhausted, but ultimately, I guess. Well, I mean, tell me how you feel about what you've done. Gadrin's dead. Is the music a bit loud? It might be. I can turn it down a little bit more. There we go.
Well, I'm glad he's dead. That's great. She is very tired, but instead of going to sleep right away, she sits down at her desk, and just for fun flavor, uses she summons her. It's not mage hand anymore. It's telekinetic hand.
Right.
I see.
It is telekinetic hand. Yes.
To grab a bunch of some pen and papers and stuff, and what she does before she goes to bed, which takes a fair bit, as she seems to be writing a letter of some kind, with her memories still fresh of the night. So she'll most likely spend her night doing that before she sleeps.
Okay. So yeah, she gets out the writing stuff and just starts writing away for the next couple hours or however long until she's satisfied, and then maybe even kind of passes out there at the desk, not realizing that she's been there for so long. All right. That leaves... We scrolling. Tullios.
Yes. We'll be heading over to the church, to the Temple of Serenray quickly, to check on matters and make sure that Lizzy is getting treatment. And hopefully she's better, but I don't know how long it takes for them to actually perform their miracles.
Okay. So you show up at the Temple of Serenray. It's this kind of pristine marble building, and you make your way through the kind of entry doors, and it's fairly quiet in here, except for you can hear the chatter of some young voices. It sounds like the orphans. So you follow the hall until you find the room that they're in, and there they are. Some of them have passed out asleep already. Others are just kind of talking quietly to each other. Lizzy is there on a why does it keep doing that? Lizzy's there on a bed by herself, attended to. I'm so annoyed. I don't know why the camera keeps zooming out. Attended to by a cleric at her bedside. The cleric has traditional kind of blue and gold robes of Serenray, and a kind of hood over his face. As you approach, he, excuse me, do you have some business here, sir? He turns to look at you, and you can see that he's seems to be an orc or perhaps a half-orc. Older gentleman, kind of white beard, and I can kind of show you what he looks like.
Mm-hmm. With a slight bow, I just gesture towards Lizzy. That's my daughter. I am here to see how well she's doing. I was told she was brought here.
Ah. Well, she's in quite the bad state, he says, looking back at her. I've used what healing I have left. Unfortunately, it won't be until... He kind of looks at her and looks at you and sighs. I'm afraid most of our healers are occupied at the moment with an important task, and I'm all that she has right now, but she should be fine. This appears to be some kind of overdose. I'm guessing shiver.
That's what it seemed from what I was told. They found her in a place where shiver was dosed out frequently. Do you have treatments? Is there... what can be done?
Certainly, magic will help stabilize her, but she will need medicine, at least for the first couple days of recovery, if she's to get back to her full youthful self. I don't have any left at the moment. We've actually had a number of shiver overdoses in the past couple of months. But I plan on going to the store in the morning to put in a fresh order.
I suppose they wouldn't be open now to taking orders. I would go for you if they were.
Well, if you're able, they're not open now, but they will be in the morning. I can hear. He gets up and makes his way over to a little desk and pulls a simple sheet of parchment and starts writing some notes down on some medicines that he needs and the ingredients that he needs for Lizzy. There's a particular dealer that has fairly good prices, and he puts some gold in a pouch, rolls up the scroll, and hands it to you. Hands you the scroll and the pouch. She should be able to get this for you as soon as possible. I don't know her methods, but she is quite crafty, that one.
Well, I will do what it takes. Thank you for looking over Lizzy. I appreciate it.
It's no problem. No problem at all. It's a shame that these kids ended up like this. They told me that some strange man and a cat and an older gentleman helped them out. Do you happen to know what they're talking about?
I don't. I was given a message that my daughter was brought here. Finally found, but she'd been missing for some weeks at this point, so I wasn't sure what had happened beyond that children gone missing recently.
I see. Well, if you do find anything more about what's happened to them, please do let me know. In the meantime, most of them have superficial injuries and wounds, so they should be ready to go by the morning. I plan on, if you're going to go acquire those medicines for me, I can see about directing these children to perhaps the Dawnflower House, where they can receive some better care until we find their families.
That sounds wonderful. And just keep an eye on Lizzy. I'll go track these down, these ingredients, and make sure to be back as soon as I can. Rather be doing something. And I'm just looking over at Lizzy's prone form. Kind of shocked expression, gaunt looking at this point.
Please
something.
don't worry, sir. I will take good care of her.
Thank you. I'll
You're
be
lucky
back.
that she got here when she did. But I think at least the worst is over for now.
I'll just take what I can get.
He nods and goes back to he goes to get a damp cloth to place on Lizzy's forehead.
All right, I'll take a look at who was it? She, I believe, was mentioned, but I don't recall a name was given. This person.
The note says it has the address of the Gilded Knight Pawn and General Outfitters. And you look at the address, and it appears to be somewhere in what is this district called? It's in Midland. It's along the slope. It's somewhere just north of Gold Market. And you can, once you're ready to go do that, you can do like a survival or a society check to try to find a place.
We'll be heading out. It's a little early in the morning considering it's just after midnight.
Yes.
Might still go anyway.
Okay.
We'll actually still go anyway. Something's better than nothing. So.
Okay. In that case, go ahead and give me either a society or a survival check to see if you can find where this place is.
We will do society.
Go ahead and switch to minutes.
I don't think I get any bonuses to that. I know I have this. I don't think it applies here.
I am very confused by
Woo!
what's happening with the
Oh
camera.
no! We're gonna let that ride though. Natural
Ooh.
1 for a total of 6.
Okay. So you spend the next 2 hours searching for this place, and it's one, you become fatigued. You've already had a full day of work, a full day of crime fighting, or full night of crime fighting, and now you've just been wandering the streets trying to find this address. Nothing is making sense to you. You are just kind of going in circles with very few lights on. It's hard to get a sense of what street you're even on. You end up needing to give up for the night.
Okay. I think I'll start making my way home then at that point. Or, yeah, I'll make my way home for someplace to pass out, but...
Okay. So yeah, you make your way back home. Do I know what day of the week it is? Oh yeah, it's a Sunday. Okay. So, some hours pass. Good morning, everyone. New day. So you should have all leveled up. Make sure to get your rests. You can click the rest for the night button underneath your max HP in your character sheet. It's a little bed icon. It should give you all of your HP and stuff back. Reset spell slots, that sort of thing. And it's a new day. Let's start with, I guess, Felix. You had the least involved night, so what are you up to? You're probably the first to wake up.
How do I put this? Felix probably wakes up to needing to make breakfast for 15 some odd people. But the day's adventure is going to go to see the lead investigator, whose name is Zenobia, because I have the most valuable ledger that I could think to have, the proof necessary to to get my bar reopened. So today,
she's less of a lead investigator and more like the lead judge.
Head arbiter for you.
Yeah, she's like the head magistrate, basically. She's like the head of the Supreme Court of the city, is her effective title.
With that degree of importance, I imagine it's the sort of thing where one makes an appointment and then sees how far out it's going to be.
Yes, possibly. You've spoken with her before. She will like take a lunch break and come and like talk to you and stuff. But you would know that you can find her at the Longacre building, which I want to say is this one right here. This long rectangular building up near North Point.
Ooh. So yeah, Felix will get ready in the morning and then prepare to spend the day making the hike to the north end of town.
Okay. Just adding a map note there. Okay. Cool. Char, what's Reagan up to?
It's me. I had a question actually about a spell. I think I understand it correctly. I'll just put it in the chat. So I have what I assume used to be mage armor.
Oh yes, it is now mystic armor.
When it has a concentrate trait, that doesn't mean like I have to spend a turn concentrating, does it? It just is a trait that might affect other things? Okay.
Yes. Yep, that is exactly true. It will rarely matter for you. There's certain there's things like barbarians cannot use a concentrate action while they're raging, that sort of thing.
Okay. That was my question. Just making sure, because I was like, that seems like a weird thing to have to concentrate on this all day.
Yeah,
but I assume it's supposed to be an all-day spell.
Yeah, in 5e, there's a whole concentration system that is thankfully not present here because it's annoying.
Cool. Okay. Do I have classes today is the other question. I don't know if it's Monday. I didn't.
Oh, yes, it is a moon day. You probably do have, I mean, it's like a college. You might have like one class. Oh, actually, no, it is a Sunday. It is a Sunday.
Oh, no classes on...
No classes.
Someone's
There's no classes on a Sunday. Yeah.
That's right.
I think a lot of religious services happen on Sundays, but yeah, there's no classes today.
No classes. Okay, so she's gonna wake up. She probably shifted to her bed at night after falling asleep on her desk and was like, oh. But she'll wake up sleepily. The visions of what happened yesterday kind of seep back in, and she wanders back over to her desk after doing her daily preparations. Looks over her letter that she's penned out kind of once more for any spelling mistakes or grammatical issues. And she'll probably seal that up and then intend to go to the post office or whatever mailbox that they might have.
Yeah, they actually have the campus has they need to send letters all the time, so there's a campus post at the kind of at the front of the dorms that you can use.
So she doesn't have to go too far. So she'll go to that with her proper stamps and so forth. Put the letter in, thinking there must be a better way to send letters than by manual post, but that's a spell for another time.
Yeah, you would be aware that there is magic for such a thing, and in fact, they might use magic to deliver the letter itself, but
that's good.
Like to transport it, but
like
it only costs a copper. It'll cost you 1 copper to send the letter within the town.
All right, let me get rid of my copper. Goodbye. Where's my copper? There it is. Alright, now I don't have 66 copper anymore, which is sad.
Yeah.
It's a nice number.
You have to get it all back.
Yeah, then, since it's a lovely Sunday, she will probably go find something to eat and then go on a quest for the graveyard her friend is buried in. And I don't know where that is.
Okay, it's in the Gray District. You went there for the funeral, so
Oh, good.
you would still remember. So let's see. Let's go all the way down to the south.
Oh my goodness, what a walk.
Yep. Your character will get there eventually.
There she is.
Yeah, so you make your way to the south. This is kind of the south central, southeastern district of the mainland. The aptly named Gray District. You have to pass through a gate to get in. It's the only way to get into the district, and it is manned by Pharasman priests.
My favorite.
Yes, who you might have some issues with potentially if they knew the kind of necromantic things that you got involved with, but they're not. They don't know you. They're not checking this sort of thing.
Don't look in my spell book. Ooh.
The priests they're less kind of blocking you from going in and more kind of facing the inside. Because it's a big graveyard. Undead are known to sometimes rise. The Pharasman priests are more here to keep things inside that are supposed to stay inside, and prevent them from getting out.
That's
so
fair.
You pass with little worries, and you make your way across the district through I forget the ward names. Through the Everyman Ward, which is the kind of big hill in the center here. I'm so sorry to anyone watching the video who is getting ping-ponged with the camera. And over to the, I think the Golden Ward? Yeah, the Gold Ward. Where your friend was actually being a noble of one of the great houses, or one of the 5 great houses of the city. He is buried in their kind of family sepulcher, basically, or family crypt, I guess. And you go inside. And there's no guard or anything. It's just kind of like an open doorway. You walk up the stone steps into this kind of hallowed chamber, and make your way over to the burial niche where his remains are stored.
And she's gonna, once she gets there, she kind of takes out, what do I have in my pouch so I'm not just like taking out stuff I don't have. Alright, she takes out some of her rations and she has one for herself for the morning, and then she takes out a second one and kind of puts it closer to the grave of her friend as like a little, here you go.
Yeah, you place it there, right above the. There's like a small stone carving of what Sirius looked like, and below it's got a kind of nice etching of Sirius Larong's name down below.
Yeah. So she does that, and she sits down. She's like, "Oh, I have good news." She starts talking like her friend is right there. It's like, "I have good news. I caught the guy." Well, yeah, I caught Gadrin Lamb, and I killed him too, which is great. And she kind of just tells the whole story of everything that happened. Talks about the 2 strange but very capable people that she met, and kind of just like tells the whole story of what happened, and then continues with how her day is going. And she's like, "Oh man, I have a test coming up, and I'm kind of scared what'll happen if I fail. I think they might kick me out of the academy." And she pauses, and she's like, "I don't think that would ever happen to you. You were always really good at studying. You worked really hard, and I sometimes feel I won't ever be able to work as hard as you did, but I'll try and let it inspire me to keep going at the academy and do my best. And she kind of ends it with like those kind words of how she misses them and she wishes he was here. And she's gonna just do her best by him to keep going. And after she stands up, she promises to visit again soon and kind of sadly leaves, missing her friend.
As you leave, you feel like kind of just like a soft warmth in your chest that fades after you like kind of exit the building.
Yay, a nice hug.
All right. With that, that'll take us to Tullios.
Well,
You have the
after
day
a
off.
restless night of sleep, I'm now going to go and actually set out to find these ingredients and head back to the temple as quickly as possible.
Go ahead and give me another society or survival check then.
All right, society again. Just to flip the thing, it's a natural 20 for 25 this time.
You just needed a rest.
I was
Yeah,
so
you just needed to sleep. You realize
a level of
walk-
relief having found her, but at the same time the stress is there because she's not safe. She's found, which is a great relief, but not the same as being safe. So
yeah,
we're gonna go. Yeah.
You wake up, you do it like a quick wash, you put on your things, walk over to the note and the parchment. You pick it up and you look at it, and you like the address there. You don't even remember reading this address last night. You know exactly the cross street.
No idea what I was reading.
that this is pointing to.
Just so out of it being bedraggled before that. Never mind. So.
In the morning, you make a beeline straight there. You run up past the gold market, and it's just a couple blocks north of Gold Market. And let me see if I can put a journal note here so that I can not lose it.
Gilded Knight Pawn and General Outfitters?
Yes. Ownership, and let everybody observe it. Did that work? That didn't work. Try again. Okay. I'll change the icon later, but okay. You find the Gilded Knight. There are a few people inside when you enter. It's already close to 11 by the time you make it over there, since you had a kind of late night. And there's a few people like looking around. One person browsing the kind of pawned items. The other two are looking at various. There's like quite an assortment of items in this place. There's like equipment, weapons, armor. There's like camping gear. There's sportswear. There's some amount of like food, and there's all sorts of like weird little magic items behind cases. And you're like looking around. You see the front desk. There's no one there at the desk. But the person who was looking at the pawned items suddenly turns around, and it's a woman, long black hair with like a streak of color, and she. Sorry, darling. Did you need something? You look like you're here for something.
Yes, I was sent. I'm looking for some ingredients actually. I've got, and I'll pull out the scroll, as well as the money that was included to present to, I'm assuming, the person I'm looking for.
Yes, that would be me. Nia Gold at your service. And the woman, she's quite a fashionable woman. Let's see. Give you a look-see. She's got darker skin, kind of sharp golden eyes, there's a little streak of gold through her straight black hair. She's wearing a kind of like a gaudy red feather boa and like a skin tight suit with like super high teal leggings or boots. And she looks at it and boy. I had a feeling that this would be the case. How badly do you need this? She says, gesturing at the last item on the list. The one that is called out specifically for your daughter.
Well, it's for saving the life of my daughter, so it's rather important. You do have these in stock, correct?
Well, I did have a lot of jolt leaf until recently. But I haven't had it. Well, the last guy I sent to go get them didn't come back. I've been meaning to check in on it myself, but I haven't had the time.
When you say go get it, are you talking to go fetch it, or is there a problem with your supplier that these people you send disappear for?
A bit of both, to be honest. The suppliers have sort of dried up. There's been, I don't know if you've heard, but quite the shiver epidemic recently. But I do have a nice source of jolt leaf. It's not too far from here in the eastern woods, just outside of the city. I usually pay this very sweet gentleman, lumberjack, to go fetch me some every once in a while, along with a few other herbs. But he was supposed to drop off a delivery earlier in the week, and I haven't, or earlier last week, and I just haven't seen him. I checked in on his. I went to his house on Fire Day, a few days ago. No one was at home. Not sure why. He's not usually. He's always home on Fire Days, but I haven't really had a chance to look into it any further. I was planning on going a couple days, maybe, to see if he turns up. It's not usually late like this, though.
Where's your source? This is rather important. I can be the runner for you if need be.
If you're that desperate, then sure. Here, I can kind of draw you a map, I guess. One moment, and she'll go and, she's got, like, a whole set of maps of the local hinterlands and things, and she'll pull one out and, draw kind of a line from the city and circle the space. Should be about here, as long as the area hasn't dried up. You'll know it when you see it. It's a group of about 3 white-looking trees, kind of yellowy fruit growing out of it. It shouldn't be a problem, really, to gather. You don't want the fruit themselves, though. That's poisonous. It's the leaves that you need. Feel free to take as much as you want for yourself. It says here you need about just a handful for yourself, but if you're able to bring any extra to me, for each handful I'll pay you a few gold at least.
Sure, whatever. I just need enough to make sure that I can take care of the current situation. Though it'd be good to have more just in case for more shiver epidemic. Very well. Any other warnings? Is there a reason people haven't been returning that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of.
Said suppliers have run short, so...
The last time this has happened, it was a nasty case of the bandits, but I can't be sure.
Alright, and what was the young lad who you were sending before that disappeared? Do you have a name?
His name was Gerald. what's his last name? Ironvine? No. Ironwine. That's what it was. Gerald Ironwine.
I'll see if I can track him down as well while I'm at it. But more concerning is this jewel leaf. So I'll see what I can find. The rest of that, if you can get that to the Church of Serenray, I'll see what I can do about finding jewel leaf for you.
Yeah, of course. And she'll take the sack of coin and she'll actually take out 2 gold and hand it back to you. This is for the... I'm not going to charge you for collecting it yourself.
Oh, I suppose that's fair. And it's not my coin anyway, so I'll make sure it gets returned. Thank you for that.
No problem. Alright.
Then I will head out, and if I can... I want to track down any information I can find about this Gerald Ironwine, and find out what might be causing these issues, because I feel like it's related that there's a shortage, and then also the person that she sent after some has also vanished. So...
Okay. Sure. Go ahead and gather information. There'll be a diplomacy check to go ask around and try to gather up some info.
That is a 25, a 19 on that.
Ooh, a 25. Okay. So yeah, you spend next like 2 hours asking around the. You ask Nia where he lives, and he doesn't live very far. He lives kind of on a block away from where Zalara lived. And you ask around in this area around the neighbors and such. And yeah, they haven't seen him all week. Sounds like he was last in town on Toil Day when he went out to the woods to go do his usual harvesting, gathering, a little bit of logging sometimes. They're not sure what he was doing that particular day. And he didn't seem like he was in trouble or anything. He seemed his usual jaunty self. Nobody noticed any particular weirdness about him. But someone did... one of the people you talked to mentions that someone asked them about him last week around Star Day. It was a short fellow, a halfling or a gnome maybe, kind of wild hair, crazy eyes. They're not sure what he wanted, but he seemed pretty keen to ask where that guy was, where Gerald was.
Okay, that helps a lot. It was just the short fellow. It wasn't anyone else alongside.
No, it just seemed to be that's the only person that they noticed, and he told them that he didn't know what Gerald is usually up to during the day, and the guy seemed a little bit disappointed, but just kind of hung around the street for a while.
Okay.
And then eventually, like a couple hours later, left.
Well, my immediate guess is it's our friend from the fishery, who we've hopefully gotten arrested. I don't think we killed them.
No, they're all unconscious and tied up inside the building.
Have we reported that? Has anybody actually... I assume that's something that somebody's going to take care of, but I suppose that hasn't actually been done. I've had some other priorities at the moment. And I'm already on a side quest, still trying to take care of my daughter, so...
Technically, I think Felix is about to, but you might not necessarily know that.
Not quite yet. That's the answer.
All right.
Yeah, not knowing that... I I don't think heading to the fishery is going to get me any other information, so I think I'm just going to head to this source then. Having made a reasonable deduction that this guy has been eliminated to prevent people from... I don't know if Jolt Leaf is involved in making a shiver, or... Did Reagan mention that? I don't know if she knew.
You know that Reagan seemed to know a lot about Shiver.
Can I... I'm going to try out the deck that we've got, and I'm going to check in with both Reagan and Felix to make sure that things are okay, and that nobody's dead. And also, if Jolt Leaf is used in Shiver, if Reagan knows, and also if Felix is going to be checking in about the people who are arrested, because if not, then I'm going to go and talk to somebody briefly.
Okay. So the way that this works is that you like talk to Zalara. Zalara then relays the info to the other person. They tell Zalara, and then Zalara tells
going to be a fantastic game of telephone. I am super down with this. You want to play this in real time, or are we going to just try this out? Everybody
oh no. Leave me a comment or say in chat if you want me to do it actually like that in real time. For now, I'm going to choose not to, but if enough people tell me to do it, then I'll do it once. I'll do it exactly one time. But okay. So yeah, you...
I realize this is going to take some time, but I also am just trying to get a brief message of, is Jolt Leaf involved with making Shiver? And Felix, are you telling the police about this, or should I?
Okay. Excuse me, Reagan, you hear Zalara emanate, her voice emanating from the deck that you're holding. Oh, not holding, but it's in your...
Yeah, she like, looks around and is like, what? Oh, right. Hello.
It appears that your friend Mayhem is looking into some issues that his daughter is having. He wants to know about if you know anything about... Oh, 1 second. What was that again? She asks you. Tullios. Some kind of leaf? Oh, you're muted, I think.
I'm laughing. Jolt Leaf. Jolt
thank
Leaf.
you. Back to Reagan. He says it's something called Jolt Leaf? I think he needs it for his daughter's cure.
Jolt Leaf. What do I know about Jolt Leaf?
Yeah, give me a... Well, no, I think you just probably would just know at this point. Jolt Leaf is used to treat the addiction that comes along with a Shiver overdose. It's basically, used to prevent the very strong withdrawal symptoms that happen after or as part of your recovery. And those withdrawal symptoms can definitely kill you if you have a severe enough overdose.
Okay. And does it have to be mixed with anything, or is it just one of those it's part of the cure? It's one of the things.
It's part of a cure, but all the other ingredients are very common, and this is the one uncommon ingredient as part of it.
Yeah, she's gonna.
And otherwise, you would know that it's not used to make Shiver. It's just got some powerful, I don't know, oxidants or something.
It's it's not an ingredient in Shiver, but it can be used to make the what's basically the antidote to Shiver, because the withdrawal symptoms can be deadly. It's best to get it as quickly as possible if you can find it.
She relays that to you.
All right. That's great. And then, just checking in with Felix real quick and seeing if confirming he said he was going to report to the guards about the situation, and if he's done so yet.
Mr. Felix, Mayhem was wondering if you were going to be reporting the incident last night to the authorities. You're currently standing in just outside the Longacre building, waiting for Zenobia's lunch break, basically.
Please let him know that I am waiting to speak to the head arbiter presently, and I plan to tell the sequence of events that brought us to the fishery last night, to the arbiter. So not quite the guards, but like the folks the guards would talk to.
Okay, that gets relayed to you.
All right. So for the time being, then, I guess my priority is: do I think it's more likely that there will be Jolt Leaf at the source that Nia told me, or am I thinking that our friend from the fishery may actually have some place that I can just go grab some from there, if it's not been taken over by the guards yet?
You're not sure? I mean, the fishery is not so far away.
It's pretty close.
There.
I don't know how far this. You said the Jolt Leaf is outside of the city, right? In the woods.
Yes, it looks like it's maybe a half a day's travel.
Okay.
By foot.
Then I'm going to try. It's a long trek to the fishery, but I will attempt to head to the fishery and see if I can find any Jolt Leaf, and also make sure that our tied up people are still tied up. Possibly knock them unconscious while I'm at it. We'll see.
All right. Do you go as Tullios?
I think so, actually, yeah. We're gonna go as Tullios.
Okay. All right. Oh, while that's happening, where am I? Right. You, Felix. Felix, there you are, Felix. To the Longacre building. All right. You're here. Here's Zenobia. Okay. Not long after the conversation ends with Tullios, who you only know as Mayhem currently, Zenobia walks out of the building and waves to you. Oh, there you are, Felix. You said you had something important.
Yes, head arbiter. Thank you for taking the time to see me. I've finally been able to locate the records that I've insisted exist, which clear my name and that of Scripton Shrimshaw. And Felix will...
It's a very funny joke, but I'm busy today, Felix.
At that, Felix literally hands the ledger over while continuing to explain. This book outlines the criminal enterprises of one Gadram Lamb, who has, among other things, operated a shiver distribution network out of a fishery located in the city.
Really? And she's turning the pages over. This is pretty damning. How did you come across this?
Somebody else that Gadron had harmed, when Zalera Esmeralda had reached out asking for help. As you can imagine, I began to look for anyone in any place that I could try to look in to get something to help clear my name. She critically knew where this fishery was and conveyed that information so that I could find this notebook there.
Well, that's certainly quite the stroke of luck you've had.
I think she did it because she knew that there were other things happening. In the fishery, I came across a number of children who had evidently been captured there. and served to enable this illegal enterprise. They are currently recovering in my bar, and seem healthier for it. We're working on getting them to an orphanage where they can hopefully have a better life.
Really? Sure. Do you need any help with that? I can't just leave orphans at a bar.
It hasn't been a bar for a minute, so they have made themselves a little bit at home. But
at home. Hold on a moment. She goes running back into the Longacre building.
Yes, help would be wonderful.
And then comes running back out a few minutes later, like pulling a cloak over her shoulders. She had walked out in her like kind of I don't know, judge suit and garb, and she's looked like she's like dressed to run now. Go on. Come, we need to get these kids into a safe place, and a bar is not a safe place, no matter how closed it is.
Felix will go with Zenobia to the Script and Trimshaw, defending its honor a little bit. It's not just a bar; it's a tavern. It's a public house where all are welcome.
You get the sense that Zenobia has like a particular like soft spot for orphans, and that's maybe why she's a bit more urgent about this, seemingly just canceling whatever busy things she had to do. She also, on the way, she stops some Corvosan guards and has you explain the story of what happened. And she like demands that they arrange a patrol to go to the fishery right away. And then she makes her she along with you, the two of you make your way back to the bar, the Script and Scrimshaw.
I made sure they were fed. They all had a place to sleep.
They do seem to be okay. Okay. She immediately goes into like kind of strict teacher mode and is like, all right, names everyone. First and last, if you have them. Nearest family members. You there. And she points at one. I'm Soren. Yeah, Soren what? Soren Gilby, ma'am? Great, excellent. And she goes on like this with all of them, trying to sort out like any information she can get about them, and where their families might be, and that takes the better part of an hour for her to gather all this information on the kids, and yeah, by the end of it, she's got them kind of sorted into groups. This group, you're going to come with me to the orphanage. Actually, she's going to bring all of them to one of the orphanages that she usually volunteers at, and get things going from there. Well, I'm glad it was you who found them and not someone else.
I'm just glad they can go to somewhere safe. That fishery was no place for children.
How did they end up in your care exactly?
As was exploring the fishery, the children were in one of the back rooms, and upon entering that room, it was obvious that, like, the children themselves stated that they did not want to be there, but were afraid of Gadrin and his associates, and that is why they stayed. And finding that situation, I felt that the most expedient thing to do was to assist their escape.
Well, it was the prudent thing to do. Look, I'll see about fast-tracking the reapproval of your business license. That's the least I can do for you, helping out all these children.
Thank you, Head Arbiter.
Zenobia's fine. Come, children. They all stand up, alert, and follow her single file. Mother Goose and her little gooselings make their way to one of the orphanages. All right. I don't know if I had anything for Reagan. Did you have anything you wanted to take care of after finishing up at the
Yes. Well,
Great.
not take care of. Nothing pressing. Just studying for my quotas. She will probably make her way back to the academy. And there's something I wanted to do. It's gonna take all day apparently. Or maybe it won't. Can I attempt to make I don't know if this is appropriate. An infernal pact to summon a devil to help me study.
You can.
That is her
a
goal
thing you can do.
on God's day, one of God's days.
It's just a
Time
Some
to
gods are
make
okay
a
with that.
deal. Yeah. The school is okay with it. It taught me how to do this. This is an appropriate thing.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you'll
Give me a
get started
devil.
on your infernal pact to attempt to summon some kind of
Study
devil.
buddy.
Study buddy. Yeah, just a
Study
fun
buddy.
little
I'm
infernal
sure
pact.
they'll be really pleased to show up, and it's like, what evils do you need from me? It's like, I need you to help me study. Come along.
All right, yeah. So yeah, you could. That is totally a thing you can do. And for our purposes, a day of downtime is roughly like 8 hours of work. So yeah, you can you spend the 8 hours working on it, and I guess it would normally say 8 hours. Are there
This is
rituals that say 24 hours? Or 8
It
hours.
just says one day.
This just is one day. I'll still count one day as 8 hours, but you can only do one day thing in a day.
That's fine.
Okay, so yeah, you get to work setting up the ritual to attempt the Infernal Pact. All right, we'll have you roll that at the end. If you need to get interrupted, you can resume the preparations later.
Cool.
All right, so Reagan is setting up the summoning circle in her room.
Yeah, this is perfectly fine to do here. All the kids, all the students are doing it.
All the cool kids do it. It's fair.
Trying to
It's
remember, it's like, is this what I put here? As she's erasing it.
You've got a list of studying strategies, and one of them is, in fact, packed with a demon.
Yeah. Go
It's
get
like
me books.
the esports kids all doing Adderall.
It's like, yes, I can literally double my brain power.
All right, so Tullios, you
I'm
make your
looking
way.
for Joltleaf.
Yeah, you make your way over to the fishery. You find that the three that you had tied up and the dog. You had also tied up the dog.
We
you
knocked
tied
out the
up the
dog.
dog,
I don't
too.
remember if we tied up the dog.
I'm
I know
gonna
we didn't
s-
kill the dog, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you tied up the dog. So you return to the place, and you start by searching the back rooms, or what's your?
I was gonna look in that room that we found the well,
The
I should
shiver
say
in.
Reagan found the shiver in originally, yeah.
Okay.
It occurs to me that if Joltleaf is used specifically for the prevention of like shiver DTs, then if this person was taking it off the market, that might have been for some nefarious purpose. So they might have been holding on to it to stockpile or to something. So I'm hoping there's some here.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way over there and you search the kind of storage space and the kind of warehouse space that the kids were operating in, and nope, you find some more crates of shiver.
I'll actually dump that if I can.
Okay, yeah, you can totally just you just dump it into the river.
Oh my god, that's so inappropriate. That is going to poison the water supply.
At that point,
there's going to be some shark who is just aggressive beyond reason.
This is why they have the drop-offs at the CVS.
All of those like made-for-TV movies about the Sharknado and stuff start with shiver just being dumped in the water first, and then it just gets out of control.
We need a PSA for all the kids listening. Don't dump your drugs in the toilet. Don't dump them down a drain. Just bring them to the CVS drop-off.
CVS drop-off for worst-case scenario if you have a cat, especially cat litter. Dump them in with cat litter and you can toss those out in the garbage.
Oh, interesting. Now you know.
It's mostly to keep people from getting to them is the goal at that point, but...
Well, yeah, you just dump a bunch of little small crates of shiver into the water. Or are you just dumping the crates themselves, or are you like opening up each vial and dumping it?
I'm trying to destroy the supply, so whatever's going to be the most effective way. You know, if it's smash and then push sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, probably. Okay, so yeah, you smash up the vials and toss them out into the water, leaving no vial behind. While you're doing this, you start to hear some shouts. Like, hey, help!
Did not even process. I just destroyed evidence. Nice job.
Oops. Yeah, you start to hear some shouts for help, clearly coming from Yargan. Hello, is there anyone there? I hear you.
Do I want to deal with this right now? I'm going to go and just poke my head in and see if they're conscious, but are they still tied up? It sounds like they are trying to get help. So
okay,
hopefully.
yeah, you walk your way over to you have to like go walk back up the ramp and over towards the door where you had kind of tied them all up. And as you're approaching, you hear suddenly like doors slamming, like open, or like swinging open and like hitting a wall or something, and a bunch of footsteps.
I'm trying to decide whether I should be here or
not. Corvosan Guard, we've got you surrounded. You hear shouts in the room as clearly the Corvosan Guard have arrived.
Right. I'm in uniform at this point.
Yeah. Do you wear your uniform on off days? You're not working today, so you could be wearing just kind of a casuals.
That's true. I could be wearing something casual. So, in the event, since I'm not, I think I would be wearing something more casual. I would not have been dressed for work. In which case, I'm going to try and not be seen, just in case.
Okay. So you just decide to... do you just like stick around and listen, or...
I'm just gonna let them take... The guard can take over from this point. I'm gonna back away and see if I can get away from the situation, observe from a distance, rather than being up close and personal.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check then.
Yeah. Uh, 17.
Okay, 17 is a success. Maybe one guard hears a noise, is like, what's that? And goes to look, but by that point you've already kind of slipped out and make your way across the street to observe from just kind of a bench nearby. You watch as they drag out the three of them eventually drag out Gadrin's, I think, headless corpse.
Yes.
And a couple of like crates of broken vials that you hadn't fully gotten to, or hadn't fully like removed when you were distracted. Some are carrying papers and ledgers and stuff that you guys had left behind. Yeah, it looks like they're kind of gathering evidence, and they're walking south in the direction of the Citadel Bolshevik, I think is what it's called. This place over here. That's the head of the Corvosan Guard. It's also where the it's where you were normally stationed.
The brigade's at, yeah.
Fire department, yeah.
So that's fine. I'm going to let them go and leave. I'm not going to talk to them at all or interfere at all because I'm realizing this is real, like, returning to the scene of the crime energy going on right now. So instead, I'm going to start planning to venture into the forest, which I'm not great about. I think I'm going to try and ask through Zalara for help from Regan and Felix. If they know source, or if they're willing to help me get my hands on some.
Sure, who do you ask first?
Let's start with Felix.
Okay. Felix, you get a ping from Zalara. Mr. Mayhem is asking if you which way would you have worded it?
Do you have a source of jolt leaf? Or if not, would you be willing to help me get some? I know that sounds super sketch, so I'm going to leave it that way. That's just how it's going to come across.
Okay.
All right.
I guess this is a question. This is something Felix would maybe sort of know as a person who engages in the fine art of commerce here in the city. Would Felix know a good source for jolt leaf?
Society check?
I do one of those. I'm vaguely trained in that I live in a society.
Yeah.
18.
18. You think to yourself, and you're pretty sure there's a place not too far from you. It's like a couple blocks south along the road. Gilded Night or something like that. It's where you'd usually go for sourcing like the stuff for your bar. They're recently under new ownership, you think, but that'd be your first guess, or similar shop in town. That's the one you know.
I'll relay the message. I'm happy to help. Have you tried the Gilded Night?
Funny enough, I have. Thank you for mentioning it, though. Then if I could get your assistance looking, there's a place outside of town to the east that supposedly has some, and it would help my daughter immensely. I would owe you a great debt.
I'm currently just sweeping up, and it's going to evidently take a little while for the gears of bureaucracy to free my bar, so happy to help.
Wonderful. Now is the tougher task of pulling Reagan from her studies.
Am I studying?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Gonna...
Ask the student.
I'm going to ask the student.
Adult man.
Jolt leaf I need a fix. It's been a couple days now. I need to get some. Come on, hook me up.
I know a student.
You're right.
Got you.
Come on.
Sells a jolt leaf behind the gym.
There's a convenience store around the corner.
So when you are contacted, Reagan, by Tullios via This is so silly.
Just give it to
Via
me once.
Zalara. You're like trying to set up the like appropriate incenses for the ritual, and you're like looking around. You're pretty sure you had like these particular herbs, but you're out. And you're like looking around under your desk, like you had these herbs at some point that you need for this incense.
How convenient for the plot. But I need some herbs.
You could just go to the store and get them.
Yeah. Jason's like, how do I get Reagan to stop doing this? He knew I was going to deny it.
Studying is very important. We know this.
We have to have backup plans, you know?
Hey,
All right, but yeah, you get a ping.
what's up?
I believe Felix and Mayhem are needing to venture out into the eastern woods to gather that jolt leaf thing. They need it to help his daughter. They were wondering if you were interested in assisting. They could use your help.
Why don't they just go to the store?
Apparently that's sold out.
Ah, that is a problem.
And the one source that would usually gather it hasn't shown up in some days now.
Oh, good. A missing source. She kind of thumbs through her book looking at the ingredients that she needs and thinks about it for a second. It's like, I guess I could save some money if I stumble upon these extra herbs that I need. So why not? It's Sunday. It's one of the Lord's days to go be with nature, I suppose.
One of them gods.
And she sighs a bit and kind of starts packing up. Where are they? Where are you? Where's Felix and Mayhem? Give me your GPS location.
You ask them, and since you're going out to the east, it probably makes sense to meet up in this square here, which I think is Eodrid Square, or Eodrid Square, named
All the
after
way down there.
Named
first
after a good king.
Eodred. Yes. I'm pretty sure that's Eodrid Square.
Is it named after him or one of his ancestors?
Named after his ancestor, not not the current King Eodred.
Like, I knew that he was like not the first Eodred, but I just couldn't remember if it was specifically named for him for some reason or something.
This is Eodred the Second. Eodred Arabasti the Second is the current king.
Yeah, whatever he's up to.
But yeah, you're heading down that way, so you could all meet up over there. It's probably the easiest thing.
What a walk.
Waka waka.
Alright, can't find the map fast enough.
Tip tap, tip tap.
Okay, so you all make your way down towards this square. It's right by, I think this is High Bridge. I still haven't finished labeling the whole map, but yeah, feel free to move yourselves over here.
Whee!
Yay!
There we go. Hello.
Where's Felix? Felix is somewhere. There's Felix. Alright, come on down.
Still over at the courthouse, I think.
Dragging
I don't
you
fucking
over.
know this guy.
Okay,
Wait over
so you all managed to kind of meet up around the same... so you're going to go meet up with each other.
I see Felix.
I think Tullios would actually try and disguise himself at some point before reconvening.
Okay, so you're going to switch into the Mayhem guys?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, on your way... Okay, let me... Okay, come on. Drop Mayhem in.
He's still glowing red.
He is glowing red. Why is he glowing red?
Yay! I made him glow
light.
red.
The light would affect
Oh,
his
right.
problem.
There's
Yeah.
a light on you. Okay. Okay, so Mayhem, you're the first one to arrive around the square. And when you get there, it's pretty crowded here for some reason. You're not sure why. There's a lot of people kind of milling about. You realize that your new friends haven't seen you in your current guise, and you decide to kind of duck off into one of the little parks, find a secret spot, and change into your Mayhem guise. And then you kind of fill yourself in amongst the crowd. Reagan and Felix. I guess Reagan would probably... Felix would probably run into you first, since Reagan's coming from further away. And you meet just outside the square. More and more people are gathering. You hear maybe some kind of announcement is happening soon in the square.
Is there an issue
I'm
with
not
the
sure.
gate?
One of the passersby you ask says, no, it sounds like the king's making some kind of proclamation about the birthday celebrations.
Grand. Okay.
Happy birthday.
You would know that I believe it's Calistral the 14th is the king's birthday.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day to King Henry.
And he's over the years his celebrations have been growing like more and more like extravagant. So you're guessing this is probably some kind of announcement of what the celebrations are going to be like this year.
Parades and junk. Yeah.
But yeah, you see Felix walking towards you, and as you're discussing this with this person,
I'll thank the person and kind of move away. I've got my hood up, so I'm not obviously, I'm wearing a hood, but it's not as obvious that I'm just disguising
as the
myself
mask.
beyond just
Yes,
keeping the sun or what is the weather today? Is it like raining today or?
No, it's pretty sunny.
Pretty sunny.
Yeah, a little bit cold, like a little bit chilly. But yeah, sunny and a little bit of sea breeze coming through.
Then just kind of keeping things cut up to keep the chill out, as it were, and I'll try and get Felix's attention as best I can.
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah, Felix,
pick
you
up a
see
stone
a man who's
throw it at him or something.
Sure, you get hit by a stone.
I look back to see a person I had passed before, not giving them a second thought, and then light bulb turns on upstairs, and oh, and Felix will wander over and try and nonchalantly acknowledge Mayhem's existence without making a scene of it.
Appreciate it.
Glad to see you've gotten a little sleep.
I feel a bit better for it, but not used to being out the daylight hours. You seen Reagan yet?
Not yet.
There's a big crowd. The king's making some announcement about his birthday or something.
Undoubtedly, it'll be grander this year than it was the last.
There was only 3 fires, I think, last year, so could have been worse.
It feels like if the city doesn't get a chance to do at least a little bit of rioting, it's not a birthday.
Yeah, but that doesn't make for a safe populace.
No, I would agree. I think this is a weird tradition that I don't think anyone intended to start, and probably should find a better outlet.
Wouldn't hurt. I'm just kind of nervously looking around, trying to still keep out of too obvious sight.
Yeah,
We did just
and
kill
after
some people last night. Well, one person last night, so.
So yeah, you guys kind of mill about in the shade of a tree just outside the square. When you spot Reagan walking by.
Another stone gonna try and toss. Get Reagan's attention too.
Reagan, you get hit by a small rock.
Oh my god. We're riding, great. She's kind of like, what? And she picks up the rock.
Anti-King riots just because I'm throwing stones trying to get people's attentions.
And she looks over, sees Mayhem and Felix, and she's like narrows her eyes a bit. And then in Mayhem hears in his head a message that says, there are better ways to get people's attention, you know. Very clearly.
Mayhem jolts, recognizing the voice, and is like looking, and then looks, and then shrugs.
She walks up. You know, you can respond. You can respond to that, you know? You can
I don't
say hi, you can not throw rocks. And she hands the rock back to him.
Thanks. That's probably useful. I do actually appreciate you both helping. We need to. I'm trying to find Jolt Leaf. Apparently, that's the thing to help my daughter. So, if I can, I will owe you both a favor of whatever you require.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. If there's not a good source of Jolt Leaf in this town, it's best to get as much of it as we can, so that more people can.
Oh, the Nia, the lady that sent me in this direction, told me that if we bring back decent bundles worth, she'll pay like 3 gold per bundle. So if you need some extra cash for something, I don't care. I just need enough to help my girl. So. Well,
an added bonus. I also need to go out and find some of these. She kind of like holds up a little.
Thimble root.
2 like drawings or 3 drawings of the leaves that she needs. She's like, oh, while we're out, if you happen to see these, I'm looking for them too.
I'll keep it.
And you would know that they're pretty common in the area, so you should be able to find them. You think?
Hopefully, we'll be able to turn a tidy profit and help the city at the same time. Hopefully, with less shiver running around, maybe we don't need as much of the cure for its addiction.
Why is there such a huge crowd here?
The King's making some sort of announcement about his birthday.
It's going to be even more grandiose this time, I bet.
1 year closer to death.
How old is the king at this point? Like, is that actually a valid concern by now?
It is actually a valid concern.
Okay.
The king is, you think he's pushing like 80 something?
Yeah, okay, fair. I remember that I can't remember if it's his first wife is just young or if he's remarried and his wife is currently young, but his wife is like younger than him by a decent amount.
Yes. You would know that King Eodred is, he's pushing 80 something. He is married to a very, very young girl, she can't be much older than 18 if she's even 18.
Very recently married.
Yes.
Okay.
You think she maybe was shipped over from, or like she's some Chilaxian girl from Cheliax who probably came here to get rich. Somehow wormed her way into marrying the king, who is known to have a taste for younger women. He's not the greatest.
Yeah, I'm aware of that part of things. That's why, a little disdain over the party antics, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, most people kind of just tolerate him. His mother was like the great Queen Domina. She was like a big builder. She did a lot of great construction projects in the city. And Eodred has largely been just kind of riding on her coattails. You would be, all 3 of you would be aware of the curse of the Crimson Throne. This idea that no one who sits the Crimson Throne will die of old age or ever bear a child. And that seems like that's gonna happen. But Eodred's, he's pushing it. He's probably gonna die of old age here pretty soon. He's over the last few years, he's not been looking too great. And he has had an obsession with creating an heir, basically. Hence why he's got this kink for young fertile women kind of thing. He's gross. But yeah, it certainly seems like he's probably just going to die of old age and things will move on. But yeah, that's kind of what your understanding of the current situation with the royal family. General sentiment is that Eodred is kind of fine. He's not the best person, but he's sort of ineffectual in terms of kind of city management. City just kind of runs itself.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, but around this point, you hear that it sounds like the crowd is coming to a hush, and you hear trumpeting from the center of the square.
Kind of keep an ear, move closer in and keep an ear out, but still trying not to attract too much attention. So probably still be on the outskirts, more or less.
Okay, so you guys try to stay on the fringes of the crowd as you approach to just get a listen to see what they're talking about. So let's go here and activate. All right, so you make your way into the crowded square. There's a big stone platform where there's a bunch of Corvosan guards who are standing around, keeping the crowd from getting too close. There is a carriage here. I didn't put it on the map, but there's a carriage here for the royals who seem to have just recently gotten out and are walking up to this this big arch that's kind of surrounded by roses and the various guards all about. In particular, let's see. So you can see the queen herself, Iliosa, who she's got her hair done up into two buns with kind of ring loop braids attached to them. She's fanning herself, even though it's quite chilly. She seems to be fanning herself with some kind of folding fan. It looks exotic in origin. She's wearing a very bright green and gold dress, and she does in fact look quite young and spry. Standing there, she's helping. She's got a smile on her face as she's kind of helping the king limp along. And the king himself looks to be in not the greatest of conditions. He's got kind of thin, wispy, white hair. He's dressed in his full kind of royal red and gold regalia, his crown atop his head. He looks almost a little bit lost. He's kind of staring a little bit wide-eyed up as he is sort of escorted to the front. And you hear one of the guards so aggressively trying to show me you guys instead. One of the guards here, I guess you might be able to see her from there. If you get a closer look, you can see a woman that you would recognize, Tullios, as the Field Marshal, Cressida Croft. She is the current leader of the Corvosan Guard. She's pretty young herself, maybe mid-early 20s, something like that. She was promoted. She used to be an adventurer and got promoted very, very quickly when she, I think, saved the king's life. from like an assassin attack a few years ago. Actually, she stopped like a big poisoning event that was going to happen, I believe, at his birthday celebrations like 2 years ago. Yeah, it was some whole deal. I don't remember all the details right now, but it was a big deal. She got promoted because of it, like straight into field marshal position. But she's very well liked amongst the guard. She's very pragmatic, all around a like pretty understanding and caring person. But she is stretched very, very thin with the kind of limited budget that the guard has. A lot of the guard's budget keeps getting suctioned away to go into public works projects, basically. But anyway, the king makes his way up, and if you'll excuse me, I wanted to let everyone know that this year, he starts coughing. You can like barely hear him. He's not very like, he doesn't project very well. Even though everyone is like trying to be as quiet as they can to hear him, you're barely making this out. The queen like comes up to him and like tries to like steady him and hands him like a like tucks her fan away to bring out her handkerchief and like to dab his face. Yes, thank you, darling. I wanted to announce that this year's festivities for my birthday celebrations will be the grandest they've ever been. And in fact, if we are looking to have free wine be given out all over the city in every major square. In particular, we need, if you know or are an attractive young woman, we are looking for positions of hostesses who will be tasked with doling out this fine wine to all the celebrants. The queen seems a bit miffed by this. She like steps back and kind of crosses her arms to let him drone on for a bit. He starts to talk about the big parade that they're going to have, the route of the parade and where it's going to go in the city, and then starts talking about the new park installations that are going to start popping up next year, and he just goes on and on, and it starts to get kind of boring, and realizing that you're sort of on some kind of time limit, you probably get bored listening to what's being said and decide to leave, is my guess. You can stick around if you want. Do you stay through the end of the speech?
No.
I don't care about this speech.
I think Felix gets a little sad that he's not going to be able to sell wine for a solid week.
Oh no.
It basically like ruined profits for every bar in this city.
Yes, when he said that, you could hear multiple like audible groans. If the king is going to be supplying the wine directly, that means basically no profits for quite a lot of bars. But okay, yeah, you listen for like 20 minutes or so, realize this is kind of not going anywhere interesting at all.
Not fast, at least. Ugh.
Yeah, not very fast. And decide to continue on. Okay, so you make your way out to... Get you guys back here. I like that.
Are you gonna come back and like everyone's gonna be dead or something? It's like, whoa.
They all drink the wine.
Nah, nothing that dramatic. You've got weeks before the
drama.
festival.
Oh yeah, the birthday thing is until the 14th, you said, so.
Yeah, I believe it's the 14th. It might be the 13th, but I'm pretty sure it's the 14th. I should have written that down, but I failed to do so. Okay, but yeah, you make your way through the rest across High Bridge, through the East Shore District, and out the Eastern Gate. And actually, do you rent horses for this? Or
Depends on how far we're going.
This is, let's see.
Like, if we intend to bring a haul back, maybe a horse isn't the worst idea.
I mean, it's true. On the other hand, it's also leaves, so it's hard for me to say.
Yeah,
Pound
it's
of
about,
leaves.
it's like
Still a pound.
like 3 or 4 miles away. Or sorry, no, that's not right. What am I saying? No, it's closer to 10 miles away. There we go.
Oh, then yes, horses, absolutely.
Okay.
3 or 4
so
miles
just
can
gonna-
be a decent walk. Like 10 miles is not fun.
That's too much for a day's. That's all day, and that's a lot. So.
Okay. Let's see. To rent a horse for the day, it should be relatively cheap. Yeah, it's like 4 copper per person to rent horses.
Okay, sure. I'll cover that. In fact. So 12 copper, I'll pay for.
Okay. Yeah, there's a stable near the Eastern Gate that you can get some horses rented for. You tell them how long you're going to be. It'll just be a day, maybe overnight at most, and yeah, he gives you the horses loaded up with saddlebags, and you ride out.
All right, we ride out.
And I think as you guys ride out of the city through the Eastern Gate towards the forest, that is probably a good time to call it for the evening. So, thank you guys for the game. Hope you had fun. This has been a lovely third action. We're back finally, except next week we're not back.
I must do my civic duty. Maybe.
Yes.
We'll see if they want me.
An infernal
Civic
pact
duty
with the
calls, sadly.
Yes. I've been summoned by the courts.
So, sadly, I
must
don't have any ability to control the courts. Otherwise, I would.
Who has
through my
the ability
shadow
to
network.
control the courts other than the courts?
No, if I had my shadow network set up, then I'd be able to do it. But sadly, they're all on vacation right now, and things just didn't work out. So
timing. Holidays.
But yeah, Happy New Year, everybody! Happy Marthan Day.
Marthan Day.
Happy Marthan Day. Marthan Luthen Kingen Day. And happy week. Hope you enjoyed. If you like, give us like button and subscribe button and such. Follow us on twitch.tv/thirdaction. I'm trying to hold. Imagine me holding a Twitch right here in my hand. I'm not gonna edit it in. Just imagine that.
Twitch.
And then yeah, you can also follow us on podcast platforms. Give us reviews. Reviews are cool. I like reviews. Or leave a comment. I read comments. I smile at them. They brighten my day. Or come hang out in the Discord. We got that too. Otherwise, this has been Third Action. Fuck off.
All right.
Great job.